Okay, so here you can see I have emptied a rather large plastic container of scraps. These are some scraps I saved quite a while ago now, I can tell by looking at my scrap piles. I just want to show you today how I go through sorting my scraps. Now this one's a good example because it's older and I've gotten a little bit pickier now about what I like to save. So I'll show you the piles I've got started and then we'll do some sorting, okay? So first you'll see on the farthest on the right are some of my bigger bricks. They're going to be wider than 2.5 inches. Then I've got a strip here, the blue one, that's probably close to 2.5. Some larger squares, some skinny bricks, thinner strips there. They're going to be less than 2.5 just by looking at them. Here is my minimum size for keeping, a 1-inch strip. These I like to use now with log cabin blocks. Then I have some very small square pieces. I like to use my cutting mat underneath when I'm doing this. It's really quick to sort your sizing. You can see there that one is less than 2 inches square, but I might keep that to trim it down to 1.5 square for doing fun applique or my log cabins. Again, some smaller squares, and these ones here are an exception to the rule. Some really funky paisley fabric that I know is not 100% cotton, but I still want to keep it. Otherwise, fabrics get tossed if they're not 100% cotton. That's kind of what I like to keep in my scraps. I don't have to worry about that while I'm constructing things. So let's go through a bit of my scrap pile here and I'll show you what I do. Now I also like to keep strips like this. These are made strips. Again, this will be 1 inch wide, so I'm going to keep that. That could be a fun working in a quilt. This one again you can see is made fabric. It's going to go in this pile. Circle is going to go in with those squares. And then I just go through really quickly. I don't sort by light and dark. I don't get all technical. I use my best guess. I don't like to measure everything. Some of these now are getting to be smaller than what I like to keep. But you can see it's usually because it's like a bright color. It's got some interesting prints on it. I can build off of it kind of if I start putting them together. I also don't keep triangles anymore. It's just not worth the hassle later on. I'm trying to use the bias edges. So you can see a lot of this size. It's hard for me. Okay, this one is going to go today. It's hard for me to part with scraps. This one's fun. Look at the fussy cutting going on there. Okay, I love rich prints. I love using small ones like this. See, this is getting small, but again, I'm going to use my magic trick, and I can still get a pretty, a nice 1.5 inch square out of that. This fabric, again, I know is not 100% cotton. I can kind of tell too. I pull it both ways, and it's got too much stretch. Okay, it's not going to work happy with others in a final product. So it goes now before I try to use it later and get disappointed. So now I just keep going. I know I have a lot of this fabric. That was some granny fabric. Here's some blues. I can't even remember what this project was now. Though I know I did like using this color. I'm going to go over here. These ones I think open up. This is some fabric I've had in my stash forever and ever. And sometimes when you have those ones and they get this small, it's okay to send them on their way. I'm just looking to see if it's got a nice focus point. Not really. I'm going to say goodbye. Okay, here's some more of my poinsettias. Oh, now I know what I used that in. It was in a nice Christmas quilt. There we go. This again is an old fabric. It's going by. These are fun triangles. Okay, I know these are all 100% cotton. I have no idea why they're all stuck together, but that has interesting possibilities. I like doing this process too sometimes when I'm just feeling a little bit stumped, looking for something creative. I'm going to throw this one out just because I've had a lot of that fabric. I'm done looking at it. I've loved it long enough. This one, see how it's stretchy both ways? That's going to cause me grief. It goes away too. A leaf that's already cut out. Sometimes I will keep motifs like that just because they could be fun just to add on to another project. Okay, and that one, that still has a pull. Okay, good. So you can see there's not much I throw out. See, now this is small, but I know I don't have much of it. I know it's pretty neat. It's a nice eye popper. a fascinator, if you will. And I'm going to keep it. Now this one though, do a little trick. Oh, I can't really get a 1.5 out of it, so it's going to go. That one's going to go. Some nice yellow we're going to keep. Okay, these are some batiks. I don't usually have a lot of them in my collection, so I know that's kind of why they ended up falling into the bin. See, even this I used to keep. Not anymore. Okay, you don't need to. If you make quilts, you have a lot of scraps. This triangle I will keep because I can square it up to make a smaller square. This one I will not. Okay, if you make a lot of quilts, you have a lot of scraps. You need to let go to make room for more ideas and more possibilities in your quilts. Okay, I don't throw everything out. You can see that. These ones I'm done with. Okay, this one, what is he, a 2-inch square. Funny thing, I just found a container of those today. So he has some friends already, so I guess he can stick around. Okay, I know that even this is keeping too much. But like I said, I like to do some little fun quilts sometimes with these fabrics. You get interesting inspirations when you see them sitting beside each other in the scrap pile. And you want to experiment. And that's part of the fun of quilting for me, is experimenting with these strips. I know I have lots of that. I like that one still. I know I don't have much reds like that. That triangle's going. Okay, so you don't do this when you're in a lovey-dovey mood. It's a little bit, keep your mind open, keep your heart open, but also be willing to say goodbye. I have lots of this fabric. It's rather thin, not a very happy or interesting selvage, so it's going to go. This green, it just seems to breed in my stash. It can go. Look at this. Keep. It's a star. It's ready to go. Okay, look, even just looking at the little bits I found already, okay? Look at the potential there. That's what I like to do. I like to do this just to find new ideas again. Keep my mind open to new possibilities. Here we go. Here's another big